They say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. It's a phrase we hear a lot, a comfortable way of explaining why the old problems of yesterday seem to pop up in a different form today. But what if it's more than just a rhyme? What if it's a precise, methodical echo? What if the past isn't just a memory, but a blueprint? A set of instructions for what's happening right now, and what's about to happen next. We live in a world of constant change. Technology, culture, politics, everything is in a state of flux. But sometimes, a shocking piece of evidence emerges that suggests we've been here before. It suggests the past isn't just behind us. It's right in front of us. This is a story about calendars, coincidence, and a very human need to find a pattern in a chaotic world. And that shocking piece of evidence is a calendar. What if I told you that the calendar for the year we're in right now is a perfect identical copy of one from a time of global turmoil? Every single day of the week, every single holiday, they all line up perfectly. This might sound like a strange, fun coincidence, until you start to look at what happened in that historical year. The year 1941 was a year of profound change and global conflict. It was a year that saw a continent engulfed in war, a year that marked a turning point for an entire generation. Before we dive into the details, if you're enjoying this video, consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell. It helps the channel out. Okay, back to 1941. At the time, the world was a tinderbox, on the brink of a new kind of war. The Nazi invasion of the Soviet Union fundamentally reshaped the conflict. And by the end of the year, the attack on Pearl Harbor would drag the United States into the war, changing the course of history forever. The feeling of anxiety, of a world on the brink, and of profound global uncertainty, the parallels are a little unsettling. As we stand in 2025, a similar feeling of profound global uncertainty is in the air. We are a world with a heightened sense of anxiety. We see a geopolitical landscape in a state of flux, with major power competition creating new questions about international stability. Trade tensions are on the rise, and there are many active military conflicts happening across the globe, the highest number since World War II. So what does this mean? Is this a sign? Or is there a more logical explanation? But the calendar isn't the only piece of the puzzle. What if the calendars don't match, but the events do? Go back just a few years and look at the stunning parallels between the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic and the COVID pandemic of 2020. This is where history feels less like a rhyme and more like a direct echo. The details are eerily similar: a novel virus that spread globally, a desperate search for a vaccine, a healthcare system pushed to its absolute limits, and a public debate over basic health measures like wearing masks and quarantining. In both eras, people grappled with economic shutdowns, job losses, and a pervasive sense of social instability. The dates on the calendars for those 2 years are completely different. But the human experience, the fear, the debates, and the resilience, that part is almost identical. So we have one case where the calendar matches, but the events might not, and another where the events are a near-perfect match but the calendar doesn't. What's the common thread here? And what's really going on? Is this a signal from the universe, or is it just a powerful illusion? Okay, let's stop with the spooky coincidences for a minute and get into the real science of calendars. The truth is, the calendars for some years are designed to be identical. It's not a secret prophecy, it's just a predictable consequence of how our calendar works. A regular year has 365 days. If you divide that by 7, you get 52 weeks, with 1 day left over. That's why a date typically moves forward by 1 day each year. We have leap years that add an extra day, and over time, these cycles of 365 and 366-day years cause the calendars to line up again in a precise pattern. And it's a lot more common than you think. The calendar for 2025 isn't just a match for 1941. It's also a match for 1958, 1969, and 1986. The fact that it aligns with a historically significant year is, unfortunately, nothing more than a coincidence. The calendar doesn't know about World War II or geopolitical tensions. It just follows the math. And just to be clear, the calendars for 1918 and 2020 are completely different. The math simply doesn't align. The fact that the events were so similar is a powerful testament to history's true lessons, not the calendars. So if it's just math, why do we find it so compelling? The answer lies in how our brains are wired. It's a phenomenon called apophenia. It's the human tendency to find meaningful patterns in random or meaningless data. It's what makes us see faces in clouds, or believe in a lucky number, or find hidden messages in everyday things. In an uncertain world, our brains desperately look for a simple, elegant story to make sense of things. A calendar predicting history gives us a perfect, if false, narrative. It's comforting because it suggests a script, a plan, or a design to the chaos. And social media, with its algorithms, is designed to feed us more of what we want to believe, making these trends feel bigger and more real than they are. We're drawn to these patterns because they give us a sense of control over something we can't control, the future. The past can't tell us what's going to happen tomorrow, but it can give us an invaluable guide on how to face it. The future isn't written in the calendar, it's being written by us right now. What do you think? Do we see a repeating pattern in history, or is it a powerful psychological illusion? Join the conversation in the comments. If you want to see more videos about fascinating scientific topics, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more. A like and share would also be a huge help. Thanks for watching.